Hi there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Let's talk about how to use ideas process. Step one is, I said we'd talk about and start the ideas process so that we can cover it once this month as part of November, No Nonsense November. But we're going to also have a No Nonsense November topic because I already planned them out. Might as well talk about them. Today's is, I want to say done is better than perfect, but it's getting to be a cliche. There's so many different sayings and things that go around on the internet. They get to be old, and sometimes that means that we just start to tune them out and not listen to them. So I'm going to break through that clutter today and talk about starting now, acting now, no matter what. Why? Well, now is the only time, the present moment is the only time we can ever take any action, right? So if I get an idea and I don't write it down, which is taking action, or if I don't in some way capture that idea, it, like the 80,000 other thoughts we have a day, it's going to come in my head and then fly out of my consciousness as quickly as it came in. So I learned from Tony Robbins decades ago that never leave the scene of a decision without taking some sort of action. So that means if I want to send an email or do something and I decide I'm going to do it, I quick jot it down so that I don't forget it and I don't lose it. Action builds confidence. Sometimes we think we have to wait. And I guess today I want to talk about just starting and taking some action. I'll give you a personal example that's business related. I started a school community and I could have waited because it's starting out slowly. I could have waited and done a big old launch or something, but I'm doing it this way intentionally. I'm creating it with the founding members so that we incorporate the things that the people I'm here to serve and I want to hang out with, we're actually doing the things that they want to do within that community. Now, I started it right away. I didn't have an about page. I didn't have anything. I created on Canva a silly little supersize your business graphic, and I threw it up. It's still terrible. It's got the wrong font. The first thing I created was a little bitty thumbnail, and I like my thumbnail, but I haven't had a chance, and I have been back, but I am very slow when it comes to creative things on the computer because of my vision and stuff. And I suppose they've got AI in there now, so I could probably just tell it what I wanted to do and it would get closer than I have. But my point is, I didn't wait to have everything in place to start building my community. And now we have 32 members. So I'm actually really excited about that. So take action before you think you're ready, right? And action doesn't have to be, I've done the whole thing. I've done the whole thing perfectly, because there's no such thing as perfect. I've taken action toward what it is that I'm telling other people and the world and the universe that I want to create. And, taking that first step, the next step appears. It always does. I know it's hard to believe that, but if you take that first step and that first action in faith, you'll automatically see, because I think we're blocked until we prove to the universe that we're serious, we prove to the world that we're serious. And we can tell people, and there are a lot of talkers in the world that will just talk, and say about all the things and how things should be, yet they never actually do anything or take any action. So we're not going to be those people. We are action takers. And confidence comes from taking that action. We take an action, we don't die, right? It's stepping out of our comfort zone. Every time we're growing and improving and scaling and building momentum, it's stepping out of our comfort zone. If we were comfortable, we'd have already been there. We would have already done the things we need to do to be at the end result that we want. And with our businesses, that's usually supersizing, scaling, making them bigger, automating pieces of them, making the world a better place. We also want to keep in mind that overthinking actually kills more dreams than failure ever does. I don't know about you, but I will raise both hands and say, I have failed tenfold more times than I've ever succeeded. And I think I've had quite a bit of success in my life and lots of wins. But if you ask anyone that's you want to use as a role model, if you ask any of them or read their books and their stories about what and how they really created the thing that they created, if they're being honest and authentic, they will all tell you, because nobody creates magic and great big supersized things in the world without having a whole lot of failures along the way. I think, well, thank goodness I didn't have to try something 10,000 times to get it to work, like Thomas Edison inventing the light bulb, because that's the most famous story everybody knows and can relate to. But there are some things that felt like I was doing them 10,000 times before I actually had the light bulb moment that was like, oh my God, I'm doing this all wrong, and tweaked one little thing and boom, it exploded. And finally, you can adjust course. Sometimes we think, and I was guilty of this when I was younger, when I made a decision and choice and followed through on it, and then later discovered it was the worst possible choice for me, I just stayed there and tried to make the situation better instead of stopping, pausing, reflecting, and saying, all right, this is not working out for me. Something big needs to change. And it's usually me that needs to change. Now, in those instances, I changed my perspective and my attitude and my way of looking at different situations. And that helped me to stay for a certain amount of time in different situations. But normally, the better action is to say, stop, hold the phone. I didn't pick the best option for me right now in this situation. It's not unchangeable. Anything can be changed. I can change my mind every single day. Every day is a new day. Every single day. And I don't know why we forget this. Every day when we wake up, we are who we were before, but we don't have to stay there. We can make different choices and different decisions. So our topic and our action item for today is choose one area that you have been procrastinating in or have not taken action in because you aren't ready or you feel like you're not ready. And share that in the comments below. Take one imperfect step toward that today. Just take one action toward it today. So say, I will give an example for me. I am working on, and I've got till the end of the year, cleaning up my personal work areas and organizing them so that they support me more than they do right now. And I want it to be perfect. It will never be perfect. It's an ever evolving, changing thing in my life, and it will continue to be that. But I need to take more action, physical action on it than I have been to make sure that it comes to fruition by the end of this year. So what we're doing for the ideas process as part of this week's challenge for the next 7 days, we'll cover one of each of the letters in ideas, and I stands for is. So what is the current situation? And I just did this as part of physical, but I want to continue it through because it's really important. It's one of those foundational things like fixing a false belief that we don't even know is a false belief because we think all our beliefs are just our beliefs and part of our identity and who we are, right? So that's why I seldom, if ever, lead with things like that. But once you work with me, we always deal with things like that. Whatever comes up, we take care of it. We don't sugarcoat it because I know if we don't take care of those core things, you're not going to be able to grow and build and scale and supersize your business. Or you are, but it's going to be a whole lot harder because you have conflicting beliefs pushing against each other. And whichever one's stronger on any given day will win. And that will keep us stuck in these cycles of insanity, I call them. So today we're just going to write what is the current situation as part of our action items. So action items. What is the current situation that you want to fix by the end of the year or the current goal you want to achieve by the end of the year? What is it? What's the current situation? You know, maybe it's, I need $10,000 more to do this. Keep it simple, right? Or maybe it's, I need to hire a something, AI expert for my business, whatever it might be. All right, that's part one. Part two is, and that might be both part one and part two, might be writing down your is and saying, oh, here's something I've been putting off that I need to do right now as part of that. And then that becomes your action that you're taking that you have been thinking you're not ready for. AI is a good example for me. I think I'm not ready to get involved in AI, but it keeps peeping into me. And I think why I say I'm not ready is I don't want anyone else being my voice, if that makes, or anything else being my voice. I think a lot of people have embraced that and gives them a competitive advantage from a marketing standpoint and graphic design and things, but it also, everything starts sounding the same. People can tell if you're a real human being. And I think that's part of why I do videos every day. My imperfect showing up every day, it's just who I am. And that's what I want to teach and share with other people is that if you just show up every day, be yourself and be consistent, you'll have those breakthroughs that you want to have.